Well, hello everybody. Today this is a video that has been very, very long overdue, but we're doing it right now. Doing it a little bit differently because I did the updated sleep token video and I like it. I'm proud of it, but it's like, do I really want to do the minimal amount of editing and stuff like that? Especially since I think my best content is the stuff that I made just me talking off the cuff. So yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do this little series from now on of me introducing more not obscure but modern metal bands. I just think it's cool. So this band I've been wanting to talk about for a while is Imperial Triumphant, which you probably already have seen from the title of the video and the thumbnail and all that shit. But so what do Imperial Triumphant sound like? It's very weird. They're definitely one of the more unique bands that I've heard in my time as a metal fan. They're like black metal mixed with like elements of like avant-garde and jazz and all these different soundscapes, and I don't know, they just sound completely unique to me. And maybe there's other bands that sound more like this band, but you know, I don't know. I'm not too deep into black metal, so it is what it is. So I kind of want to, since this band has considerably more music than Sleep Token, the band that I covered before in this series, I'm going to kind of take bits and pieces of their discography, like in chunks of like kind of like different eras of the band, but I don't know. Just wanted to tackle their discography in a bit different of a way since they have a decent amount of music out. So, as most normal bands do, they evolve and their sound changes as they go along, and Imperial Triumphant is no different. Their first few releases, their debut EP Obeisance, which I will note you can only find on YouTube and Bandcamp. It's not available to stream on Spotify. It's there. It's in my library, actually. I just can't listen to any of the songs, so I'll put that out there. But it's definitely worth buying. They're a band worth supporting. So then there's their first album, Abominamentum, another EP called Goliath, and the reason these are smaller is because these two releases got packaged into Shrine to the Trident Throne, which is a compilation that you'll find on Spotify. Abominamentum is there, but when you go to listen to it, it's just the cover from Shrine to the Trident Throne that pops up, and I don't think this Goliath EP is found anywhere on its own. But the last two tracks, Sodom and Gomorrah of Shrine, are this EP, so just keep that in mind. This is very much more early black metal. If you like bands like Immortal, Emperor, this is kind of what you'll be interested in, and you don't really care as much about the more avant-garde and experimental stuff. The Obeisance EP is pretty solid. So is this whole thing over here. I'd say my favorite songs. I like the first couple tracks off of Obeisance, and I like Crushing the Idol from Abominamentum. And yeah, that's really almost all I have to say about those. I'm trying to keep this quick. We're only 3.5 minutes. Goddamn. So, getting rid of all of those, we have the next kind of period in the band's history where they're starting to get a little bit more experimental. I mean, you can kind of hear it in a little bit of hints in the early stuff, but not as much as albums like Abyssal Gods, their EP Incest. At least I think that's how you say it. It's incest with an E at the end. And not Alphaville, but Vile Luxury. Yeah, this is much more the mid-period in Imperial Triumphant's discography. It's definitely very haunting sounding, but it's still kind of weird and kind of quirky. I don't know if I would ever say quirky as part of this band, but very dark, very heavy, but also very experimental and very kind of like jarring. But the transitions are pretty good, and there are definitely some really good songs on these. I really like Black Psychedelia off of Abyssal Gods, and also really like Swarming Opulence and Chernobyl Blues off of Vile Luxury. And I'll admit this EP I'm not too huge on. The Incest EP, I don't really care for it, but yeah. So I would say if you want to listen to it, go for it. It's only like not even 20 minutes long, so you might as well, but it's nothing special. And also, this is the deluxe cover of it because I don't know if I can show the original on YouTube. It's not super brutal or gory or anything like that, but I'd just rather not. deal with that. So, and now most fans will probably be more familiar with this, as I mean to say. Alphaville and Spirit of Ecstasy, their two latest albums. Um, Both of these albums are actually really, really good. I do like these quite a bit. I don't know which I like more though, because there are. I think I like more. If I can talk, I like more individual songs off of Alphaville, but I think the overall listening experience of Spirit of Ecstasy is much better. So do with that information what you will. I really like Rotted Futures. I like Transmission to Mercury, Atomic Age, The Greater Good off of Alphaville, and I need to look up the titles of Spirit of Ecstasy because they're kind of hard to say. Chump Change, Metro Vertigo, Tower of Glory, Sea of Shame. Those are great first two tracks on the record. Mercurius Gilded, Maximalist Scream, In the Pleasure of Their Company. Yeah, this album is really good. They also have a live album, which you're probably hearing in the background, called An Evening with Imperial Triumphant. It's mostly tracks from Alphaville and Vile Luxury being played live. And yeah, that's pretty quick rundown. They also released a cover of Radiohead's Paranoid Android. They do a very good job covering that song. Sounds nothing like the original track, so that's pretty good. So that's kind of a good place to end the video on. I think I wish I could go more in depth. I could go more in depth, but then this video would be extremely long and boring. So I'm not going to do that. So all I'm going to say is go listen to Imperial Triumphant, see if you like them. If you do, they're touring with Behemoth later this year. I'm actually going to see them in September. They're going to be playing at the show that I'm at. It's Behemoth, Twin Temple, and Imperial Triumphant. So that is a killer lineup, so definitely go check that out. And that's really all I have to say. The next two episodes of this series I'm thinking are going to be on Orbit Culture and Bad Omens. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. So have a good one.